My dear students of class 10A and 10B, today I shall introduce you a new lesson. The name of the lesson is Mahatma Gandhi and the National Movement, lesson number 16. Mahatma Gandhi and the National Movement. You know, Gandhiji came to India, returned to India in the 1915. Gandhiji went to South Africa for a case of his one client, and while staying South Africa, Gandhiji was humiliated at the hands of the white rulers of South Africa and was determined to teach the white rulers a good lesson. He returned back to India in the year 1915, and then he studied the political situation of India, and later on he got himself involved in three movements. And Gandhiji's movement was based on, non-violent method of satyagraha. What is the meaning of satyagraha? Satyagraha is a non-violent method based on truth and non-violence. Gandhiji adopted satyagraha in three important places of India. First in Champaran, second one in Ahmedabad, and third one in Kheda. What happened to Champaran? The planters, the peasants and farmers of Champaran district in Bihar did not want to cultivate indigo, but it was profitable to the European planters. The European planters who came from England, they forced the peasants and farmers of Champaran to cultivate only indigo, because the quality of Indian indigo had great demand in England. That's why they forced the cultivators of Champaran to cultivate only indigo, but not other crops like wheat, like maize, like rice, etc., etc. But the cultivators wanted to cultivate cash crops like wheat, rice, maize, and so on. They did not want to cultivate indigo, but indigo they were forced to cultivate by the pressure of European planters who invested money. And it was due to that reason the peasants and farmers of Champaran, on hearing the growing popularity of Gandhiji, who gained popularity from South Africa, requested him to consider their matter to be a matter against humanity. So Gandhiji reached there and supported the stand of the peasants and farmers, and ultimately the district magistrate of Champaran district gave some concessions to the peasants and farmers, and hence it was a great victory of Gandhiji for the first time from Champaran. And second one, Ahmedabad Satyagraha. Second one, Ahmedabad Satyagraha. First one, Champaran, and second one, Ahmedabad. What happened to Ahmedabad? In Ahmedabad, the mill workers had been demanding some demands before the mill owners. They wanted to give a rise in their wages, but the mill owners did not want to increase it. Gandhiji started hunger strike. Whenever Gandhiji's request was not accepted by the mill owners, Gandhiji continued the method of hunger strike. He remained empty stomach for at least 1 week. When the situation was going to be complicated because of the growing popularity of Gandhiji, the mill owners accepted Gandhiji to open discussion, and ultimately they decided to increase 35% wages of the mill workers. It was the second victory of Gandhiji from Ahmedabad Satyagraha. And last of all, Kheda Satyagraha. Kheda Satyagraha. What is Kheda Satyagraha? The people of Kheda every year paid high amount of taxes to the government. But due to crops failure, they failed to pay taxes. But the government was forcing them to pay taxes. That's why they got help from Gandhiji. Gandhiji strongly supported their stand and openly instructed them not to pay a single amount of tax under such circumstances where, due to scorching rays of sun, due to drought, they were unable to cultivate good crops. Due to crops failure, they failed to pay taxes. So, under the inspiration of Gandhiji, encouragement of Gandhiji, the people of Kheda, they stopped paying land revenues. So it was the great defeat, a great victory of Gandhiji. Later on, the government exempted the taxes. And next one, non-cooperation movement. These three satyagrahas, first one, Champaran, second one, Ahmedabad, third one, Kheda, gave Gandhiji a concrete platform, and Gandhiji was able to gain the faith of the people of India. So the time when the First World War ended, the British government, humiliated Turkey and adopted the policy of humiliation against Turkey. The people of, Turkey, they had great faith and respect for their Khalifa, because Turkey is a Muslim country, and their religious head was their Khalifa. So whenever, and in the First World War, Turkey had been defeated under the hands of England. Since they fought against England, at the end of the First World War, England imposed many restrictions on Turkey and humiliated them. But Turkey's religious head was their Khalifa, means religious head. That's why humiliation of Turkey meant humiliation of their religious head. That's why the Muslims of not only Turkey but the Muslims all over the whole world, they were against England. Right that moment, another incident took place in India, that was Jallianwala Bagh incident. Before Jallianwala Bagh incident, due to revolutionary activities of the people of England, the British passed one act. That act was known as Rowlatt Act. Now, why was Rowlatt Act passed? Rowlatt Act was passed to imprison any person without trial and conviction in a court of law. But the people of India, they were against it. And hence, they protested against Rowlatt Act. There were demonstrations, there were strikes under the leadership of Gandhiji, but the British did not withdraw the Rowlatt Act. In the same year, 1919, there was a great incident took place at Jallianwala Bagh. The two Congress leaders were arrested, Dr. Saifuddin and Dr. Kichlu. Both of them were arrested by the British under the Rowlatt Act. So, in protest against the arrest of the two famous leaders of Congress, a meeting was held at Jallianwala Bagh, but General Dyer was there. The military commander, General Dyer, openly instructed all the people of Jallianwala Bagh not to attend the meeting. They prevented them from attending the meeting, but still, so many people of Jallianwala Bagh, including male, female, children, old aged, they all reached there at Jallianwala Bagh Park and attended the meeting in protest against the arrest of the two Congress leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu, Dr. Saifuddin and Dr. Kichlu. And hence, both of them, hence, the people of Jallianwala Bagh proved that they were against the British government, and General Dyer grew offended, and he ordered his troops to open fire at an unarmed gathering of Jallianwala Bagh. Thousands of people died, and rest of them also were about to die, about to death. And hence, the people of Jallianwala Bagh and the incident which was taken place at Jallianwala Bagh created nationwide dissatisfaction. Rabindranath Tagore gave up his knighthood in protest against the Jallianwala Bagh. And Gandhiji decided to start a movement in protest against the Jallianwala Bagh incident. The name of that movement was Non-Cooperation Movement. The name of the movement was Non-Cooperation Movement. Gandhiji started the Non-Cooperation Movement in protest against the Jallianwala Bagh incident. The movement which was started by Gandhiji, the Muslims supported him strongly. Since Gandhiji supported the Muslims movement, the Khilafat movement, when the Turkey was humiliated at the hands of England, the Muslims of India started a movement. The name of that movement was Khilafat movement. Gandhiji strongly supported the stand of the Muslims. Gandhiji supported the Khilafat movement with the aim of achieving Hindu-Muslim unity, because Gandhiji wanted to bring the Muslims under one umbrella. That's why Gandhiji strongly supported the Muslims. So, the two Ali brothers who organized the Khilafat movement, Muhammad Ali and Maulana Shaukat Ali, the two Ali brothers were charmed, and they decided to support the non-cooperation movement when Gandhiji started the non-cooperation movement against the Jallianwala Bagh incident of India. The Muslims and the Congress came closer. Both of them strengthened the unity of themselves. Gandhiji had been expecting the unity between the Hindus and the Muslims. So, by organizing a movement, the non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji was able to achieve success. and strengthen the unity between the two communities, the Hindus and the Muslims. So the non-cooperation movement started in every field. Gandhiji proved that he was not only the leader of the people of India, but also their protector. The people of India and the members of the Congress accepted Gandhiji to be their leader. Gandhiji openly declared that non-cooperation meant non-cooperation with the British government, non-cooperation with their policy, non-cooperation with their repressive attitude. So the people of India who had been working under the British government, they all responded to the call of Gandhiji. The teachers gave up their job. The students who were studying in government schools, they left the school. The students of universities, they made the colleges and universities as the centers of protest and started protesting against the inhuman practice of the British and the deaths of thousands of people at Jallianwala Bagh created nationwide dissatisfaction. The behavior of General Dyer was compared to reign of terror of France under Robespierre, but General Dyer had no regards for this. So, the non-cooperation movement, which was started under the leadership of Gandhiji, gave him a strong leader of India, and the people all over the country, they strongly supported the non-cooperation movement. Up to this, my dear student. Thank you.